Hey yo, ThinkCard here, and in this video I will cover how to efficiently path while tracking the enemy jungler. This technique is best used when you're playing a champion that needs to scale and doesn't have the most potent ganks. So a champion like Graves, or Kayn, or Master Yi, you really want to have efficient pathing. However, you need to track the enemy jungler while you're pathing. You can't just leave your team out to dry and just hope they survive the ganks. So first things first, you need to get a ward on both sides of the river. I'm able to ward topside, but I need to ping my bot lane to ward their side of the map. Pyke goes above and beyond and he's able to get a ward onto the enemy raptors. This is not reliable. Most wards will just be right here in the river. However, this ward is extremely valuable. If you can get this ward, it helps immensely. So I'm clearing my red and raptors, and I'm staring at the minimap to see where the Nunu will head. If he goes to his raptor camp, I will see him. I will also be able to see where he goes after he does the raptor camp. So that word, once again, is very valuable. I'm still staring at the minimap. I need to know where the Nunu is. He hasn't shown on the ward yet. So maybe he went to bot crab, maybe he can sneak around the ward right over here and we didn't see him. So I'm preparing to split the map if possible, if I don't see him, because I know he didn't go to the top side. However, we see the Nunu on the ward, so right away, you need to think, okay, what can we get from this? Press tab and you see he has 7 CS. It's very important to press tab when you see the enemy jungler, because you get to know what path he did. If he did red to crab, he would have 8 CS right now. So I know he did red to Krugs, to raptors. So the bot crab is still up. So lucky me, I know that if I cross right now, I can get both crabs this game, which is really nice. A lot of junglers might look to gank, but once again, since I'm Graves, I don't have the most potent ganks. I want to be able to hit the mid game feeling really nice with my item spikes and with my XP. Yes, I can gank, but my ganks have to be efficient. I can't be sacrificing my camps to gank if the gank might not work. I know the Nunu is heading topside, so I ping topside to let my Vladimir know, hey, you need to play safe. Nunu is topside, he can only gank your lane. I can let my bot lane know, okay, I'm bot side, Nunu's topside. You guys can play aggressively if you want. I can be nearby if they start to skirmish, and we'll win the 3v2. So remember, the overall goal is to track the Nunu. So you need to plan out what you're going to do next. I get this crab, and lo and behold, their bot lane starts to fight. I'm around the area, and so we're able to clean up these kills. This is not a reliable gank. Obviously, if they were playing this correctly, they should just back out and not die here. But they fight, they overextend, we get the kills. But I'm still thinking, how do I track the Nunu? I know the Nunu is topside. I know he's probably clearing his topside camps. And I know when his raptors died. So raptors take 2.5 minutes to respawn. And I killed my own raptors at 2 minutes. So I know I need to be at my raptors at 4 minutes and 30 seconds. And I can be at his raptors when they respawn as well. So that's how I'm going to track the Nunu. I'm going to be at his raptors when they respawn. And if Nunu is there, I'll see him. If he's not there, I'll take the raptors and ward. And we'll get information on when he goes to the raptor camp. So I'm there a few seconds after they respawn. And I get the raptors. Once again, following the game plan, I need to get information for my team. We haven't seen Nunu for a while, and they need to be scared where the Nunu is. So I need to do my job and find the Nunu to get my team information. The Nunu does gank bottom, but we did ping to have a ward there, so he's safe. But whether he ganks here or not, we would see him on these raptors. A really nice part about doing this type of style is not only do you get a jungle advantage by pathing well, but you get your team a lot of information. So for example, right here, your team knows where everything is on the map. Obviously, you know where you are, you know where your bot lane is, and you get to see all the variables. However, their team does not. They don't know where you are. They are going for this crab and they're thinking Graves can be here, Graves can be top, Graves can be ganking mid, he can be anywhere. So they have to weigh risk and reward when they go for any type of play. Whereas you get to decide, okay, we see all of them here, can we fight this? Is this favorable? If it's not, no harm done, you don't have to fight it. If it is favorable and you can punish it. You have the information and they don't. We decide here, we can take this fight. We see the Sivir in the bot lane. We get some free kills, so this is really nice. And once again, this is because we got the information and got the wards down. When your team has information and the enemy team does not, that is when you're going to get really favorable outcomes because they have to weigh risk and you don't. So it's been 6 minutes. I have a ward down on his Raptors again. And since we saw the Nunu bot side, we know his camps are going to spawn top side. So Nunu has had one gank look and it wasn't the best to his bottom. And I'm going to go to his top side because Nunu has to be there. So I can shadow the Nunu while I'm farming. And this makes it so that Nunu can't get successful ganks off. If Nunu wants to gank top, he has to go through me. And if he doesn't show here, then he's not farming. So this game's a really good example of how to track the enemy and get yourself a pathing lead. And there is a second game which also has a similar result. Alright, so once again, you're playing Graves and you want to have a very efficient jungle path. And so you need to get information on the enemy jungler. Remember what we said last game? Before your camps even spawn, you need to get a ward on both sides of the river. So I walk in, drop down a ward onto the bush, and get out safely. And I pinged my bot lane to do the same. So now you will have valuable information. When is the jungler heading to the crab? What's really cool about doing this type of playstyle is you do build up your knowledge very quickly on what certain junglers look to do. So for example, Kindred likes to get his mark as soon as possible. So a lot of Kindreds will just do red into whichever crab gets marked. So I know most likely his Raptors will be up this game, but I still need to make sure because I need to hit tab when I see him on the map. So I'm doing Raptors again. I'm staring at the minimap to look for Kindred. And boom, we see the Kindred. So immediately you hit tab, he has 4 CS. So the Kindred did do red to top crab. So his Raptors are up bot side, the crab is up bot side, everything's up besides his red buff. However, it is a Kindred, so it feels kind of bad to give over the mark. So let's assess the state of the game. Mid lane is even 50-50, so if I go to fight the crab, both of them can probably come at the same time. However, top lane, I do have a Nasus on my team. Nasus's level 1 is not too strong, so it does seem pretty standard that the Poppy is abusing the Nasus. If I went to contest this crab, the Poppy will probably get there first, and it probably won't end too well for me. It doesn't feel too great, but I have to give up the crab. But since I know that the Kindred only did red to top crab, his whole bot side is up, so I'm still going to feel comfortable with what I get from my path. I'm getting my Raptors, I'm going to go get his Raptors and bot crab, so I still get a pathing advantage, and I just have to give up that mark. So remember what we discussed the previous game. You need to plan out what you need to do next to path efficiently and track the Kindred. So same thing as last game, I want to get my Raptor camp at 4:30, and since I cleaned his Raptors, I know his Raptor camp spawn as well. So my plan, get my Raptors, go to his Raptors, and get a ward onto his Raptors to track the Kindred. However, something to keep in mind is that League is a dynamic game. Yes, I have my game plan and I know my game plan works, but since Nasus already TP'd back and just got a solo kill, now I need to change my plan. Now if I went to Raptors to bot Raptor, Nasus is on an island without TP, Poppy's gonna TP back and he won't be able to get his wave in. So my job as a jungler needs to be to help the Nasus right now. So I know that Poppy's gonna TP back, and I know if Kindred is here, it's gonna be really spooky for Nasus to push this wave in. So I start doing my Krugs since it's close to the Nasus, and if Kindred is here, I can help out the Nasus in time. Obviously Poppy just ints, but even if Poppy doesn't int, I'm in the area, and if Kindred shows, then I'm gonna be nearby and show as well. However, lucky me, Poppy dies, Kindred shows top, and based on all the information we said earlier, now we know, nice, Kindred show top, I'm getting my own Raptors, I will be able to get his Raptors again, and get bot crab. So, we just need to ward and make sure that we're fine on the top side of the map. So while I see the Kindred, I can drop a ward in this bush over here. I know that if Kindred goes to his bot side, I will also be there, so I can match it. So I'm not scared of Kindred going bot side. I'm only scared of him doing things on the top side of the map because I'm not going to be there. So I drop the ward top side, I get his Raptors again, and I'm going to get another crab bot side. So once again, same strategy as the previous game. I use the wards that I got level 1 to path efficiently, hit my item spikes, get a fast level 6, and make sure that I'm going to be a strong force going into the mid game. So just to summarize, you need to get your wards down on both sides of the river before the camps even spawn. And then while you're farming, you need to remember to hit tab as soon as you see the enemy jungler. This is going to give you valuable information on what camps he's done. And then based on where the enemy jungler has been, now you can make the decision of how can you path effectively and track the enemy in order to make sure that your team is safe from gank. And if you do these things correctly, then you can go into the mid game feeling really strong, and their jungler is probably going to be frustrated because his ganks haven't been working out. You've been doing a really good job as a team tracking him and surviving the ganks, and your laners are going to be pretty happy that they know where the enemy jungler is most of the game.